Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Today we have a fun little puzzle here. Not little necessarily, that's easy, but it's got some interesting terminology for some things that we've seen before. It's called Monopoly Rules by Gerhard 1963. And we've got standard Monopoly rules apply. So the digits 1 through 9 appear in every row, column, and box. So that's interesting. So every row, every column, and every 3 by 3 box contain the digits 1 through 9 once each. Then we've got cages. So digits in cages cannot repeat and must sum to the value shown in the upper left corner of the cage. Those are our typical killer cages. So you can look at any of these. These 3 digits must add up to 14, these to 17, etc., etc. We've got little killers. So clues outside the grid are the sum of the digits along the indicated diagonal. Digits may repeat if allowed by other rules. Now, the diagonal ones are the ones that are killer, or little killers, excuse me. So we have to make sure we differentiate between the ones we're looking at. So this 18 here means that these 3 digits must add up to 18. This 18 means these must add up to 18, etc., etc. Then we have skyscrapers. So each cell represents a skyscraper whose height is a digit in that cell. Taller skyscrapers obscure the view of smaller ones. Clues outside the grid tell how many skyscrapers are visible looking across the row or column from the direction of the clue. So those are the ones without arrows. I can't click on them because they're outside the grid, but the 2, the 8, the 3, and the 4. So if you look at this 4, it just means that along this view, you can see 4 skyscrapers. So whichever digits, however they're ordered in here, allow 4 skyscrapers to be seen. And of course, each value of a digit tells you how tall the skyscraper is. So 1 would be 1 story, 2, 2 stories, so on and so forth. And that's it. So it's a little twist, I guess, on naming, but it's really the same type of rule sets that you would normally see. That said, let's jump into this one, see if we get it all figured out. And as usual, the link will be in the description below. So where are we going to start? Well, we had a couple of 7 cages, so we know they have to be 1, 2, and 4. Those are givens. And we've got a 24 here, so this has to be 9, 8, 7. Now, this 4 skyscraper clue, I'll put it down here with the little Killers and Skyscrapers so it's easier to see. This is going to tell us something about this, because we have to be able to see at least 4 buildings. So we can never put a 9 here or here. Because if we did, we'd only see either 1, 2 or 1, 2, 3 at most. So this is not 9, which means this is. Now we've got a 7, 8 here. You might be able to determine which one is which. Because we know at some point along this line there's going to be a 9 that we can see. So that's at least 1. Once we hit this 8, we're not going to be able to see anything else. So if we put the 8 here, we're looking at 1 here, something below 8, the 8, and then somewhere along here is a 9. So that's only 3. So therefore this has to be 8 and 7 this way. Now this digit could be anything, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, because it'll always be seen in front of the 7 here. And then we just have to have a 9 somewhere out in the abyss here. Now, how about this 21 clue? So we can tell what this is going to be by this. This can never be a 1, because we can't have 3 digits, one of them being a 1, that add up to 21, particularly because they have to be different digits because they're all in the same region. Same is going to be true for a 2, because if you put a 2 here, these would have to equal to 19. You can't do that. This is 4. Now, that 4 is going to reduce these down so that we now have to have 2 digits that add up to 17. Well, the only 2 digits that can do that is 9 and 8. So therefore, they must be there. Now, this 3 clue, I'll say it's probably not, I don't know that we can use it just yet. Because I think it's possible this could be an 8 or a 9 at the moment. Because we could have some digit here. If this is an 8, let's say, we could have some digit here, let's say a 6. This could be a 3, and then the 8. So we have 2 visible, and then the 9 somewhere along the line. The 9, of course, could still work, because you could have just 2 digits in front of it, and those are the 3 you see. Now I'm wondering if we can do anything further with these digits, or if we can just do math to determine what these 3 digits might be. Because currently we're looking at 26 between these two. So we must have 19 left over. Nah, that doesn't really seem to work, does it? Because we got 19 and 19. If it was some imbalance between those two, it might be easier to use. The other thing we could have looked at maybe is this 8. Now, we're going to know a little bit about it, although not entirely. If this was a 9, it would be clearly this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Duh. That it's an 8 means that there can be one little twist along this line where 1 is dipping down below the rest of them. I guess what that does mean, though, is that we have to put a 9 in one of these. Well, do we have to have a 9 in a 22 cage? 8, 7, 6 is 21. Yes, we do. So one of these has to be a 9. Therefore, it has to be this one. Because if we put a 9 here, we'd have 2 of them that can't be seen, and then we'd only have 7 seen. So we know there's a 9 here. What else can we say about this? Now, is there enough? Look at what these can be. Because we'd have left over a 13. Obviously, we can't have 9, 4, because we already used the 9, and there's a 4 down here. So we're looking at either an 8, 5. I didn't do that, right? 8, 6 to get to 14. 13. Why was I thinking 14? It was 8, 5, and 7, 6. My brain just stopped there for a second again. Now, this has to equal 11. This can't be 8, can it? Because if it is, these have to be a 1, 2 pair. And that doesn't work, because this can never be 1 or 2. So this can't be 8. This could be 7. We can remove 5 from this one. We can actually just look down here. This can't be 8, period. So this just is a 6, 7 pair. That would be the easy way to go about it. But why do things easy? That's no fun. Anyway, we know that these digits now are 3, 5, and 8. This very well could be 8. In fact, does it have to be? Because we have to see 2 digits, or 2 towers, or skyscrapers. If this is anything less than 8, oh no, it's not true, because the 9 could block the 8. Okay, let's forget that for a second. Let's look back at this 11. This again can't be 8, because this is already 6 or 7. In fact, this can't be 5 either. So this just has to be 3. Now that that's 3, yeah, because 5 and 6 would have gotten us to 11. So this is 3. This could be 6 or 7. This could be 1 or 2, so this can't be 4. Get rid of these 3s here. What more can we do here? Anything? Oh, let's look up this 11. I didn't even look at this one yet. We have an 8 here, so these have to be from 1 and 2 to get to 11. And we get a 1, 2 pair here, so this is 4. Get rid of that. Now again, we still can't quite say. We know that these are hidden, no matter what goes here. We could have some combinations of 8s and 9s here. We know there has to be a 9 in one of these, actually, just by basic Sudoku. We also know there has to be a 7 over here. That 8 gives us our 5 and our 8. There we go. Okay. Again, basic Sudoku comes to the rescue. So now this 8 is essentially scot-free for our 2 here, because the 9 can just go anywhere. Whatever goes in any other places is what it is. All right, so can we We know this has to be a lower digit than 7 or 6, and now we know it can't be 1 or 2, but that still leaves 3, 5, or 6. Don't necessarily want to put that in there. The 9 here tells us this is an 8 and 9. Let's clean that up. And now that this is a 9, both of these must be seen. So we can do 1, 2, 3 like that. So this is almost like a thermo at this case. In this case, 3, 5, and 6 are the only possibilities. There isn't anything going across that there. So this could be 5, 6, or 7. Now, can we do anything with this 19 clue, with this being our options? What do we have? If this is a 9, 7, this has to be 3. If it's 9, 6, this has to be 4, which would not work. Yep, that's correct. That's not a 6. Hit the right button. If this is 9, 4, this would have to, or 9, 5, this would have to be a 5. So that doesn't work. So this is 7. Therefore, this is 3. This is not 3. This is a 5, 6 pair. And, okay, that didn't quite cut across here just yet. We'll get there eventually. Now okay, so here we know that the 9 is here, so all of these must be seen. So they have to just go in order. And we get this. Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 are now seen. Now we know this is a 2, 3 pair. That's 5, so this has to be 9. The 2 here is going to break up our 1, 2 pairs across the board. So that's good. Let's get those in. And what's the bare minimum in this 17? Or we can look at the 18 clue too. The bare minimum we have is 4, 5, 6, which is 15. So it's not quite there. The other way to look at it would be these have to equal 15. We cannot use a 9. So therefore, we're looking at an 8, 7. I can do math. And this 8 shows the 7 and the 8. So we have an 18 here. That is correct. Now, what do we have to have? A 5 somewhere. So it's got to go here. That's 13 right there. So this has to be 4. And therefore, this has to be the leftover 6. And the 5, 6 here looks down here. 5 and 6. So it looks like we're moving along quite nicely here. Let's look at these guys, or do we want to look elsewhere on some of these clues? I think these 17s going across and the 18s going across may have multiple options. I could be wrong on that. Now, if this was a 9, the bare minimum this could be is a 4. We'd already be up to 13. That would not work. So I don't think this could be 9 or 7, actually. So we'd have to get 10 in these digits. These could be 1, 2, and 3. And that could work in a certain orientation. That's 6 right there. And these would have to add up to only 4. We know this has to at least be 4 as a bare minimum. So this is not 7 or 9, which means we get a 7, 9 pair. And we get some digits here that we might be able to use for our killer clue, our little killer, excuse me. So we need to have a 3, 5, and 6. This is not 6. All right, was there anything that looks across here otherwise? It doesn't appear to be. Maybe we can do this 13 clue, or think about it at least. If this was a 3, this would have to be an 8. Doesn't work. 3, no good. If this is a 5, 2, this has to be a 6. That could work. If it's a 6, 2, this would have to be a 5. That doesn't work. So this just has to be, this is 5. Get on the right thing. And this is 6. And then that's 3. That's 6. We get a D2 in that corner over there. This is a given 4. All right. Now we know what. I could plug in all of these. We might get there at some point here, but let's take a different look. Let's look at this 17 clue. Now, again, we said the bare minimum of these could be is 1, 2, and 3. And this is a 6, a given 6 now. So we've got ourselves up to 12. And these would have to be a bare minimum of 5. And that's all we can do, because, again, this has to be a 4. And this would have to be the 1 to do that. So these have to be from 1, 2, 3. This is 1. This is 3. This is 2. That is a satisfied clue now. Now let's see if we can look at, what is it, this 18 clue? Maybe not. Let's see what these possibilities are. So this is a minimum of 2. This is a minimum of 5. This is a minimum of 1. So we're at 8 already, plus the 6. So we're at 14. We need 4 more, and it would have to be a 1, 3 pair to get there. That's the only way you can do it. So this is 3. This is 1, 1, 5, 2. All right. Do we have any other clues that we need to look at, or are we done? I think we're done with our clues, so we can just now finalize Sudoku and be done with it. This is the only place left for a 1. This is the 2s. So this one is solved quite fun and quite easily, it seemed. Where else do we have? Okay, so we just have a X-wing of 2s. What's this guy? They have to be from 2 and 3. All right, let's look at the other digits. See if we can get a finalization. Yeah, so we're going to get an X-wing on 3s, because one of these two has to be 3. In fact, we just put them in as 3 and 4, and therefore that 4 is going to see this. So let's put those in correctly. This then is 2 and 3. And what I was getting at was these X-wing forces 3s out of all these, and these because of these. So this is 3. Now these two have to be from 7 and 8. And these two have to be from 6 and 9. We have a 6, so let's put the 9 and the 6. And this is a given digit. It's been sitting here for a little bit. That's okay. It's an 8. These two have to be from 7 and 9. Let's just put those in real quick. What's another easy one to look at? We were finished with 1s, 2s. Are we now actually finished with 2s? Yes, that's the 2. The 3s? 3s are done. 4s probably done. We got one more that has to go in here, and it goes here. Yep, so then this is a given digit of a 6. Let's look at our 5s. Yes, here's a 5, and then we have an X-wing on 5s. What are these two guys? They're from 5 and 8. It's not quite determined. These, I'm going to look at these 3, but let's look at these 2 first. We've got 7s and 8s. There's an 8 here. 7, 8, and this is going to be a given digit of 9. That's going to give us our 7 and 9. This is going to be a given digit as well of 6, it appears. These two have to be from 7 and 8. So we get a 7, 8 pair here. So this is 9 and 7, and 8 and 7, and back to here to get our 8. And therefore this is 7. And then we've got these last two guys here. They have to be from 5 and 9. So this is 5, this is 9. That's 8 and 5. There we go. Cool and good. Lovely. So that was a nice quick one. That was a fun one too. It says it was 28 days ago. I guess it's probably about right. I kind of scrolled back a little bit into some of the older files because I hate to miss out on good puzzles when they're out there, but there's only so many you can do in a day. So anyway, like I said, that was a nice quick one. Might call it gas, I guess, for some, but Otherwise, wonderfully constructed, good puzzle. I like the kind of just like the riff on Monopoly rules, although there's not any necessary specific rules, unless you want to think about hotels as being skyscrapers that block views and all that kind of good stuff. But anyway, hope you all enjoyed that one. I certainly did, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks a lot.